Hey, Danielle, how's it going? How come you're using this?
It's how most people do it.
Honey, just because most people do it doesn't mean it's the best way. We can make our pizza sauce from tomato concentrate like some of the other guys. At Papa John's, we use sauce that's canned fresh. To me, it tastes better than sauce made from concentrate. Maybe you should do it different than most people.
Keep squeezing, Dad. Keep squeezing.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Keep going, Dad.
Can't sleep.
Listen,
Rain?
not just any rain. It's our rain. On our roof.
Each year, millions of people spend their first night in a home of their own.
Think it'll rain all night?
I hope so.
Call the Fannie Mae Foundation for a free guide to help put you on the path to home ownership and for a list of lenders and credit counselors.
Farming is hard work, long hours, and a bit unpredictable. But today, producers are putting together a cooperative system that's helping them reduce risk and get more from everything they produce, making it a little easier for them to greet each new day with confidence. Cenex Harvest states, we grow value.
Around the world, there are no finer products than Roundy's. Witness the corn, golden, juicy. A dab of butter is all that's needed to achieve perfection. And peas, Roundy's peas, emerald ripe, merely delicious, bite after bite. And Roundy's carries with it something extraordinary for its customers, savings. Roundy's quality and value, something more for something less.
There you see Michael King getting limbered up as the rest of his teammates of the Milwaukee Wave getting out of the field. Victor Noguera with daughter Casey Noguera in the background. Hope she's saving some for Dad there. He gets a little thirsty.
I'm sure it was an intense halftime in the Wave locker room. Keith Tozer outlining a plan of attack for the second half, pointing out once again, stop the restart opportunities, be strong on defense, don't give them any more opportunities, and try and spend more time possessing the ball and pushing forward.
Neither team really got a heck of a lot of restart chances in the zone. As we talked about, Mike, not a lot of fouls called. Pretty good flow to the game as far as not having stops due to fouls. Philly, again, really trying to keep the pace conservative as you take a look at their player coach, Omid Namazi. And as Kinger indicated when we talked to him at halftime, Philly is pretty much stuck to their game plan, and they're doing a good job so far.
This is a pretty typical game for the Wave. Very relatively low scoring and very tight. We have not seen many of the blowouts this season as we have seen in previous seasons.
Wave trying to make it a weekend sweep here at the Bradley Center. Came up with a big 12-10 overtime victory over the Baltimore Blast last night. And the Wave trying to go 9-1 here at the BC so far this year. And as I talked about earlier, Milwaukee 89-10 in their last 99 regular and postseason outings. So it has been very difficult indeed for the opposition to beat the Wave on their home turf. KiXX, however, been a pretty good road team so far this year. And as you mentioned, Mike, anytime you can play 500 on the road, you've got a chance to be a pretty good ball club.
Their problem has been at home.
And that's kind of unusual because last year they had the best home record in the NPSL at 18-2, playing at the First Union Spectrum in Philadelphia. That's Philadelphia in the black uniforms, working it to the left. Or I guess if you're behind the TV, to your right. Kinger will start it back. Sean Byers, pass deflected, but he reloads. Now to Breezy. Good defense there by Moxham to cut off the passing lane. They get it back.
What would you guess Omid Namazi was saying to his players at halftime, Tom?
I would think just keep doing what we're doing. Try to make sure that, again, we don't get in this running game, don't want to run up and down, and just keep controlling the ball the way they have so far.
David Moxham always with a smile on his face, and usually up to something.
Always up to something, if you know Moxie. Ken Moxie coming back after that year off due to the intestinal illness. In fact, there was some question last year whether or not
he would ever come back.
But he has indeed come back strong.
Second in blocks, first in three-point goals for the team this year, and headed for the All-Star game.
Just underway, third period. Morris off the end board looking for Lofton. Almost connecting there. And Philly will dump downfield. As we get into the latter stage of the second half, we'll get a greater indication on how much toll each of the games last night took on the teams. And traditionally, this is where the Wave has usually had the advantage because of their depth. Good play by Lofton to take away D'Ambra. Now Morris. Good tackle that time. As that was Pat Morris knocking it away from Steve Morris. No relation, though.
Wave is going to be selective on their shots here. They're going to take their time. They're going to look for an opportunity, and then quickly they're going to send it in. Victor sending it down into the corner.
Dola Scott away from Tershman. That one got right through Josh Timbers. Murtaugh tracks it down for Philly. Good job by Lovelace to cut him off.
Looked like he caught a finger in the face, perhaps.
He is.
Take another look at it. Maybe we can figure out what happened. Oh, yes.
Looked like Murtaugh's right hand came around and caught him in the eye. I'm surprised more that doesn't happen, Mike, with the close quarters, especially in indoor soccer. And Larry Sales, the Wave trainer. So while we have a chance, let's take a break. 12:38 left to go in the third quarter from the Bradley Center. It's the Philadelphia KiXX 7, the Milwaukee Wave 6. This is Wave Soccer on MSC.
Every one of us is equipped with a built-in detector to find a natural gas leak in our home. Fortunately, there's a way to take care of the problem. If you smell gas, leave the house, and from another location, call the Wisconsin Gas Emergency Hotline, 1-800-261-LEAK.
Wisconsin Gas, the White Cord Company.
The Milwaukee Admirals on MSC. 16 games. Fun for the kids. A smashing good time. The Admirals face up against the Vipers on MSC.
And we see Lovelace Aka being escorted off the field. It looks like he's got a bloody nose, which is actually a much better situation than taking a finger in the eye.
So Lovelace off to the side with the trainer Larry Sales, and hopefully they'll get him patched up and back in the game shortly. Victor Noguera, who has been the man between the nets, between the pipes for Milwaukee ever since Keith Tozer arrived during the 92-93 season. That was the one guy Keith wanted to go out and get, and he has certainly delivered the goods for Milwaukee as the coach talks things over with his team.
And Victor has come back with honors almost every year. And one of the few players, in fact, I believe the only player to play over 4 decades of indoor soccer, the only one in North America to have played in 4 consecutive decades indoor.
Broke in the 79-80 NASL indoor season with the Atlanta Chiefs.
And if you interview him after a game to talk about, you want to talk about his accomplishments because he is so spectacular in goal. Always he deflects it to his defender. Sorry about that.
Wave trying to move it in. Michael King trying to slot one for a hat trick. Not a bad try there. Again, the Wave trailing by 1 early in the third. Carlos shot deflected. Mobilio had it knocked away. And Victor will control. Nice chip here to Moxon. Trying to come back 3-2. Across for Kinger. Cleared out of bounds. And that'll be a restart for the Wave. Hatrip ready on the restart. Hunyek breaks it up. Back he comes. Trying to come 2-1 with Henderson. Good defense by Kinger. Great defense by Kinger. Trying to come back 2-on-1 with Moxon.
And a nice pass.
Moxon!
There is a highlight reel shot right there.
What a ball from Moxon to King, and the Wave leads it 8-7. Well, Kinger finished it up, but what a ball by David Moxon. Take a look at this.
Started with Kinger being unselfish, sending it to Moxie. Used his right heel to send it into Kinger. That almost would have gone in without the little tap in, but no sense taking a chance. Kinger picks up his second goal of the game and, more importantly, gives the Wave an 8-7 lead now.
Kinger now with 28 two-pointers this season. And if anybody wants to wonder just how good these guys are skill-wise, Mike, I don't think they have to ask any more questions after taking a look at a replay like that.
Boy, was that fun. Beautiful.
Moxon getting the assist. And David now with a total of 27 points as a defender this year. That'd be a pretty good total for most defenders for a season. And we're just halfway through this year.
I'll tell you what, he has come back from that illness with such intensity. He lost a season, really. Lost an entire season, and he doesn't want to miss out on any more opportunities, and he's making up for it big time this season.
So the Wave up 8-7. Tershman battling with Sean Byer. Richardson, good job to keep. Morris trying to go back for Tershman. And Richardson will track that one down.
And you see them shifting on the fly. Player comes on the field, one steps off. That's the way they substitute in the NPSL.
Oh, Victor, not a good pass there. Byer coming back. Heave off the end board and shot chipped over by Byer. Boy, Byer had a good chance there. Peave set him up with a nice ball.
Let's take another look at the last goal by Michael King, and I think equally important, that spectacular assist by David Moxon. Off the boards. It needed the tap in, I think.
Yeah, would have been close there to the far post. Kinger making sure. Here's Tony McPeak. And shot or pass up in the stands. Not sure what Tony was trying to do there. Tony, an Irish native. Been a developmental player for the Wave since the start of last year.
Getting an opportunity to play in the absence of Jason Willen, who is out with that ankle sprain, a severe strain. He was on crutches last Sunday at the Wave game, and we're happy to report that he is back without the aid of crutches in the stands today.
Good sliding tackle by Pat White to start the Wave counterattack. McPeak wants to back it out. Now we'll play it back for Kinger. Good ball to Richardson. Tried to come back for Kinger, but good defense that time by Goran Hunyek. Mobilio tripped down. Foul is killed.
And there's the line change. Pat White hustling off, as he always does after a foul. He likes to head for cover.
Jason Russell coming in. And a kick save, Pappas. Or Russell showing some good acceleration that time.
Here's another look at that. Jason Russell hustling down the right side. Pretty nice ball, but Pappas is there. Obviously, Russell looking for the far post. Just can't quite get it past the keeper.
Pappas 6 saves in the first half. Victor Noguera had 5. They work it around. Timbers with a chip. Just a bit high.
One thing we have not seen today is the Wave going directly from a restart opportunity to goal. They tend to tap it around, mix it up a little bit, and then try and sneak one in.
Philadelphia doing a pretty good job to defense the restart so far. But the Wave on top right now, 8-7. Milwaukee has scored the last 4 points in this contest. 9 minutes to go in the third. Carbo sends one through. Milwaukee's really picked up the forechecking, if you will.
Yeah, they have picked up the pace this half. And I think they've had probably as much, if not more, possession this half as well.
I have to believe, Mike, that maybe one of the things Keith Tozer said is, look, if we lay back, Philly's just going to keep knocking the ball around for minutes at a time. So we've got to maybe turn up the pressure a bit and try to force a few turnovers.
And you're going to see those more frequent line changes as well to keep fresh legs. Give them short little bursts, but let's go high intensity while they are on the field.
Here's a look at the NPSL's all-time winningest coach, Keith Tozer. All told, in Keith's indoor coaching career, 411 victories. That's third on the all-time list.
And we see their Loveless Aka back on the field. They have patched him up, taken care of the nosebleed problem, and he's back in action.
The coach, as usual, looking badly attired for today's game.
An interesting thing about Keith, during practices, he is out there on the field with those players, and he looks great in a suit, but I'll tell you what, put him out there on the field, and he could almost play.
His competitiveness is such, Mike, that I think as long as he's coaching, he's always going to be out working out with the team. That's a given. He'll probably still be doing that into his 60s.
Kinger gets pushed down, and what you see with Kinger, even though he's getting fouled, he will jump back up. There will be no pushing and shoving. He's just going to go right back to business.
So this gives the Wave a pretty good restart. Peter Hatrip will prepare to put it in. Philly with the three-man defensive wall. Wave up by 1, 8-7 with 7:59 to go in the third. Here's Hatrip
to the corner.
Lofton, and that one ran up on Brian's leg and up into the stands.
All of those restarts are set plays. They don't do anything by accident. They know what type of restarts they're going to try and go with. This one didn't work out quite as planned, but there was a plan.
Lofton's had a pretty good season for the Wave so far this year. Third on the team with scoring in 50 points. Brian, starting his NPSL career with the Kansas City Attack, put 4 seasons in there before being acquired as a free agent prior to this year. Dusowski on the breakaway. Yeah, here we go. Todd Dusowski. And he puts it away to give Milwaukee a 10-7 lead. One more time. Loveless with a great ball ahead, and Todd finishes it off.
And Todd started that by getting beyond his defender, and now it's one-on-one. Pappas almost got a piece of it, but not enough to knock it down. Todd's happy. And this is what we had hoped would happen in the second half, and perhaps what we had expected. Apparently Kinger's got a muscle spasm of some kind. Larry Sales working on him a little bit. What we had hoped would happen was the Wave would start to open things up, because taking advantage of the fact that they've got fresher legs, that they can run with Philadelphia, that Philadelphia is going to have a hard time keeping up with them. And it is you don't want to predict things like this, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see this margin get wider and wider as the game wears on.
Key, I think, for Philly really going to be the next goal. If they can cut the momentum, get the next one, then I think they're going to balance out a little bit.
Yeah, we've got 3 unanswered goals here by the Wave.
You know, we talked about some of the big upcoming events here at the Bradley Center, and none bigger than this one, the Garrett game on Friday, February 11th. Mia Hamm and the '99 Women's World Cup champions playing a halftime exhibition game. Wave taking on the Detroit Rockers that night.
The Garrett game could almost be a game in and of itself. It's hard to squeeze it into a halftime, but that's what they're going to do with some of the stars of the U.S. national team, winners of the World Cup. They'll be playing some collegiate all-stars from around our area.
Tickets still available. Call the Wave office, area code 262-241-7500 for ticket information. Tershman drawing the foul there. And of course you can get your Wave tickets otherwise right here at the Bradley Center ticket office.
Wave has scored the last 6 points, unanswered goals. And another opportunity to add to that with this restart. Just did a shift change. We talked before about them doing that on the fly. Also, when they've got restart opportunities, that's a good time to get some fresh legs on the field.
Hatrip looking. Still looking. Oh, and a good ball. Tershman to the near post. Moxie couldn't quite convert. Good execution, though. I'm sure Moxie would like to have that one back.
And let's take another look at that restart opportunity from our goal cam. You get kind of a close-up view on that, and there's Moxie sitting on the back door, just kind of waiting to pick something up. Ball comes across, just can't quite get his right foot on it.
Good work by our production crew here to get that shot.
Carbo loses the ball momentarily, but then sends it over to Loveless Aka.
6:45 to go in the third. Wave leads at 10-7. Milwaukee has scored the last 6 points in this contest. Russell on the header from Murtaugh. Kinger got behind.
We can't help but feel the momentum change, and you got to figure, nice save there by Pappas, you got to figure that the players on the field, both the ones wearing the black and the ones wearing the white, are aware of it as well, Tommy.
Boy, Pappas came up with a good save there to stop Pat White moments ago.
Victor long into the corner once again. Bounces to Pappas, he picks it up.
And that'll go out of bounds to Philadelphia. Jason Russell, the rookie out of Georgia Southwestern.
He's earned a spot. He's done a nice job.
Guy really has.
Richardson. Here's that shot, but Pappas is all over it. Back to live action here. Todd Dusowski.
Dusowski and Russell. Nice move, Todd! Russell! Yes, finishes!
And Stevie Morris is loving it. And Russell is loving it. Peter Pappas, on the other hand, doesn't think much of it. He's wondering where his defense was there. Again.
Boy, Dusowski, what a play to set it up. Let's see it again. Look at this move by Dusowski to avoid the sliding defender. Then a nice little flick to Russell, and he just tucks it underneath Pappas. 12-7, the Wave on top with 5:57 left to go here in the third period.
That's a sweet assist.
Jason Russell with his 4th goal of the season.
Not bad for a rookie.
10 points now on the campaign. And Dusowski, who is having a big second half, gets the assist. That's Todd's 12th helper of the year. 3 points today, 41 on the season. Wave up to its biggest lead now with 5:40 to go in the third period.
And Tom, you talked about Philadelphia's need to score a goal and stop the bleeding. That didn't happen. Just the opposite happened. Going to get a whistle there. Brian Lofton picks up the foul.
Lofton knocking down Pat Morris. Morris off balance as he was battling for it.
Here's a closer look at that. You can see how physical this game is. Ooh, that hurt. Ice bags in the dressing room.
That turf is very unforgiving. We mentioned these teams playing back-to-back games, Mike. In fact, during the course of the season, sometimes they've got to play 3 in 3 days.
Little help up there. Matt Tershman gets whacked and then gets his jersey tugged as well, and then goes down to the turf. Live action again.
Matty went off across the way. Hopefully going to be okay. Boy, there's a guy you don't want to see get hurt. Now King trying to roll one back toward the empty net. Just off the mark. Pappas giving one up there. And he's lucky that Kinger wasn't able to knock it back into the net. Back come the kicks. Here's D'Ambra. He's been the main man offensively for Philly today. Della Scott. 4:40 to go in the third. Wave by 5. It's been all Milwaukee thus far here in the third quarter. Peterson shot blocked by Hatrip. Good job by Peter. So you get out there and make that block. And on the restart, they score. Omid Namazi hammers one in on the restart.
And that is 3 restart goals for Philadelphia in this game. And really not much Victor could do to knock that thing down. It came real fast and real hard.
A three-pointer for Omid Namazi.
Let's take another look at it.
10-29. Well, it was well placed. Pretty tough for any keeper to try to stop that one. That's just a great shot by Namazi.
His second goal of the game, if memory serves me correct.
And it does. He had a two-pointer earlier. In fact, 24 seconds into the match, he got the two-pointer to get the KiXX on the board. Boy, that is a huge, huge three-pointer for Omid Namazi in the Philadelphia KiXX. That's his second three of the year. Philly as a team now with a total of 13. They have given up 18, including the one last night in Harrisburg. Wave trying to see now if they can recapture the momentum. Just over 4 minutes left here in the third period.
A 2-point spread, while it's nice to have, is nothing comfortable in this game.
It can change quickly, and Philadelphia now getting some renewed life after that big three-pointer by Namazi. He scored 2 goals today, both off free kicks directly and off restarts. And as you mentioned, Mike, 3 restart goals for Philly. Coaches Tozer and Kramer are going to have a few words with the fellas during practice this week about defending restarts. .328 left in the third, and the Wave lead now down to just 2. And a concerned Keith Tozer looking on across the Wave. Hattrop tried to see if he could play one in off the inboard. He was looking for either Tershman or McPeak, but he got up into the stands. Ihor Datsenko at midfield. White knocked it away from D'Ambra, but we're going to get a late foul call. So far, Steve Siomos, the referee-in-chief of the NPSL, and Marcel Coral have done a good job.
And they've had a fairly easy game, except for they run up and down the field, but haven't had to use their whistles much.
Victor trying to go long for Pat White. Tabrizi knocked it back. Morris moves it up for D'Ambra. Mobilio challenged by McPeak. Pat White still trying to get control.
You know, Tom, there were very few fouls in that game last night. Do you get a sense that that there are fewer fouls going on in the league this season?
You know, I guess it runs in spurts, Mike. I've seen games such as this weekend where there have been very few. We've also had some others this year, I think especially earlier this year, where we were getting more calls. I don't know, perhaps if with a couple of the rule changes, if things have settled down. Here's a ball knocked away from Carbo, and Victor has to scramble back to cover up as he was out from the net.
Philadelphia player came scrambling off the bench and intercepted that pass. Took it away and then barely almost put it in. Victor was able to hustle back. Fortunately, it wasn't much of a shot, so Victor had time to recover.
That could have given Philadelphia the lead. That would have been a three-pointer. 12-10, Wave on top with 1.5 minutes left to go here in the third.
Carbo down in the corner.
Nice ball, Stevie Morris centering, and Kinger couldn't quite get the foot on it. Good look though by Morris, and back comes Philly. Donnie D'Ambra.
You can see why Morris leads the team in assists.
Stevie very strong on the ball. Excellent playmaker.
All right, my fans.
Coming down to the final minute of the third. And Lofton going to get called for the foul on Bo Vukovic.
You know, Lofton is an interesting character. He's not big, but he is very physical.
Brian got an interesting soccer resume as well. Played his first 2 years of college ball at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
And that explains the long hair.
Yeah, not to mention those blonde streaks. You know, I've always wanted to see what a picture of him looked like when he was at West Point, but so far he hasn't produced one. Tony McPeak to Noguera. Wave controlling as we come down to the last 20 seconds of the third period.
They're looking for one last shot. Don't let Philadelphia have another opportunity. Let's get one in just before the buzzer.
Wave has been pretty proficient in last-minute scoring so far this year. They've had a lot of big goals just before the end of periods to get some momentum, including that one at the end of the first half today. Richardson has it poked away, and that will do it. Well, it still turns out to be a good third period for the Wave as they outscore the KiXX 6-3. Hang on, fans. This one could be going right down to the wire today. It's the Wave 12, Philadelphia 10, back with the fourth period on MSC.
You are not Mark Martin. You do not live your life on the edge. You do not drive a 700 horsepower stock car. You are not Mark Martin. But you can eat like Mark Martin.
You know this is Mark Martin's favorite biscuit. I know.
Right now, get your choice of 2 bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits or 2 omelet biscuits for only $2 at Hardee's.
Ja. Frische Leberwurst und Braunschweiger. Jusinger macht sie heute ebenso gut wie vor 100 Jahren in Deutschland. Nur Fleisch, nichts Künstliches. Ja. Nur köstliche importierte Gewürze und frische Zwiebeln. Echter Geschmack. Und mit diesem guten Geschmack bekommen Sie sehr nahrhafte Würste. Ohne Abfall. Jusingers, Amerikas feinste Würste, ja? Ja. Ja.
Hungry? Grab a Snickers. Peanuts, caramel, and chocolate. That ought to hold you. Hungry?
Grab a Snickers!
Wave leading by 2, but Philly almost taking the lead on that play by Bo Vukovic, knocking it back toward the empty net, but fortunately Victor there to cover up. So the Wave still maintaining the 12-10 advantage.
Keith Tozer talking to his charges during this break. Victor, by the way, is off by himself, as is always the case. One of the young fans there in the audience enjoying a Wave soccer game. And Victor's a lone wolf, and that's not unusual. Just kind of does his own thing, wants to focus, wants to concentrate, wants to stretch.
He is quite an intriguing personality. I think that might be an accurate way to put it, Mike.
And does Larry unwrap his gum all the time and give Victor fresh gum? I thought that's what was going on. And there are some future All-Stars as we take a look at the Wave All-Stars. Goalkeeper Victor Noguera, 10-5 on the season. Forward Michael King going to that game up in Edmonton in February. For defense, Michael Richardson, 36 blocks on the season, and David Moxham, 32 blocks on the season. And of course the U.S. team will be coached by Keith Tozer, 14-7, Wave in first place. And we left Larry Sales off, but he will be going along nonetheless, representing the Wave well as the trainer for the Team USA at the NPSL All-Star game. And there is Larry. What a nice guy he is.
We should mention also, Mike, that joining the Wave All-Star contingent will be assistant coach Art Kramer, who will also be providing the commentary for the live broadcast on MSC. Again, that's February 1st.
8 o'clock.
From the Skyreach Center in Edmonton, Alberta.
It is Boy Scout Day, and there are lots of young scouts. Troop 75 among those folks enjoying this Wave game today. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, I'm sure, and prepared. Obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And having fun. Could you tell I was a Boy Scout? I can't tie knots. I don't know Morse code. I still know the Scout law.
You got the lines down pretty well, Mike. There's a couple of guys that could probably give you some help. Must have ice cream badges too there, judging by the contents of their food. Wave taking the kickoff, leading by 2, but again, Philly recapturing the momentum on that three-pointer by their player coach, Omid Nomazi, late in the third period. Jason Russell tries to track it down. It's into the stands. They're going to say last touch by Philly. There's Pat White.
Thought he'd go for the ball. Maybe he could change Steve's mind, but nope. Steve Siomos is going to stay with the call. Oh, no, it is a Wave restart. I'm sorry.
Kinger. Deflected. Carbo with a shot that's blocked. Kinger still battling, and he drew the foul. Good persistence by Kinger as Goran Hunyak held him up.
And we haven't heard much out of him today. Goran hasn't put anything on the board.
They've done a good job, but again, that could be of concern too as you come down the stretch in a close game, because you know sooner or later
he's going to put one in.
Free kick. Morris mocks him. Knocked away. David staying after it, but Hunyak controls.
You know, you take away the 3 restart goals, and you can't do that, of course, but as we talked about pregame, they can play even up and ahead of anybody out there on the field. This game could be 12-4.
Kinger moving it back the other way. Now hemmed in over there in front of his own bench. Billy coming back. As Peeve will play it back for Murtaugh. Peeve, another guy who went to high school locally in Philadelphia. Mobilio tried to drop it back. Good defense by Steve Morris to cut off Datsenko. Now Victor. Mobilio taking a run at him.
You know, if it were anybody else but Victor, I would be nervous about that ball hanging around in the mouth of the goal. But with Victor, it's like, okay, no problem. I can deal with this.
He is so calm, the way he handles the ball out there.
We talked about the keys to the game in our pregame, and that is defensive pressure, to hold the opponent to 10 points or fewer. So far, it's at 10. Minimize the restarts. That's where they've been burned. Utilize.
Dusaski with a turning shot at the goal. And that's a big one for Dusaski in the Wave as they lead it 14-10. Wow, Todd, who has had a big second half, able to get the defender on his hip that time. And as we talked about, Mike, he is so big and strong. When he gets positioned, going to be very tough to knock off the ball. And it looked like Pappas may have just gotten a piece of that with his leg, but couldn't keep it out of there.
And found it just inside the near post.
1:37, the time of the score.
Flexing his muscles just a little bit, literally.
I'll tell you, Todd's had some intensity with these post-goal celebrations here today.
Well, you know, he's a WWF fan, isn't he? Or is it WCW? One of those two.
I think it's both. I don't think,
probably.
I don't think he can get enough professional wrestling, to be quite honest with you. Oh, that kid is something else. 5 points on the day with a couple of 2-pointers and an assist to go along with it.
And I think important to note, the Wave, every time Philadelphia comes up with a goal, the Wave quickly comes back. 4-point spread now, not enough to be satisfied with. Things could change before the end of the game, but they don't give up 2 goals in a row very often.
No, they sure don't. Victor will play it up here for Brian Lofton.
You're also not going to see them sit back at this point and play defense. They're going to keep the pressure on. They're going to keep trying to put points in the goal as Kinger goes down with a little bit of a whack there, but bounces right back up. Here's another look at it on the replay. Ouch.
Kinger getting a double hit that time.
Well, that's the only way you can get him down. You got to put 2 men on him, you know.
A Kinger sandwich.
Here's that scoring. First quarter, it was even. Wave following just a little bit there in the second quarter, picking it up in the third, and now they've got the only goal in the fourth quarter. 14-10, Wave on top.
Victor trying to play it upfield, but the Kicks turning it around. Good play by Lovelace, though.
Very nice.
To get back, knock it away, but that might be, and it is, a 3-line violation. Maybe you can explain that one to the fans, Mike.
Sure. Basically, he was in the Wave defensive end of the field, beyond the yellow line, and kicked it basically the entire length of the field. We'll take a quick look at it here and let folks see it as we explain what happened. There's just beyond the yellow line. It goes over the midfield line and beyond the yellow line on the other end as well. So it comes back for a restart. Wave has regained control of the ball.
3-on-2 with Dusowski. Todd going to take it himself, and the save made by Pappas. And that will get out of bounds. Wave is going to come back and get a restart in their attacking zone.
Goal scoring inspires goal scoring. Dusowski put one in, and then he comes back. He's pumped. He wants another one. He's ready to go.
Todd has really turned it on here in the second half today. Take a look at the restarts. Philly, very proficient. Wave still looking for their first one.
3 for 5 and 0 for 7 there in the lower left-hand corner, and 0 for 8 now after that missed opportunity.
Well, as you pointed out before, Mike, the difference in restarts really what's keeping Philadelphia in it. And I know that's been a theme all year long with the coaches. We'll talk more about that when we come back. It's the Wave 14, Philadelphia 10. We'll come back with more here on MSC.
If you're not seeing everything you want on your TV, order HBO for the best in hit movies, fresh, daring, and different. Groundbreaking entertainment, hot specials, and the year's best new series, The Sopranos. With Time Warner Cable, you get free activation and a 30-day money-back guarantee. So call Time Warner now, 1-877-548-7426. Ask for the Money Saving Select package. You'll be glad you did.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're gonna love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You gotta eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism.
Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call.
And the young fans really love this game. I'll tell you what, it is action-packed. It's non-stop, one end of the field to the other, and the youngsters really love it. And I must say, the adults are into it pretty much too.
Hopefully the fans who might be seeing their first indoor soccer game on TV, Mike, might be getting a little feel for the action here. Believe me, the atmosphere here at Bradley Center, just tremendous for indoor soccer.
And one of the nicest facilities in the NPSL, I might add.
Wave trying to hang on to a 4-point lead here. Still plenty of time, though. Over 11 minutes left in the contest. Nice flick by Lovelace to Mike Richardson.
And you see that gap there behind the goal. There is an Admirals game coming up here at the Bradley Center later this evening. But before the Admirals game, Joe Diffie, a country star, is going to be performing. And that is his stage. And that's why there are no fans sitting behind the goal on the other end.
Well, we do have quite a few fans filling up the lower level otherwise here at the Bradley Center, and they've seen a good one so far today. Richardson dumps it into the zone. White with good hustle, but he got pinned up against the board, and we're going to have our first penalty of the contest, and hopefully Pat's going to be okay.
He is still down. Got whacked pretty good up against the boards.
Dulles got pinned him up as Pat was hustling to get it down there.
And he's not very happy.
Just got to keep our fingers crossed he did not suffer any kind of a serious injury there. But
look at this replay, but Dulles not very happy as Pat heads off to the bench to rest up a little bit, and we're going to have a shootout opportunity here.
Dulles got for boarding at 4:23 of the fourth period. So we've got our first shootout and power play situation this afternoon. Steve Morris to take the shootout. This is a 1-point opportunity. You get 5 seconds to convert. Coming right in from the line. Stevie 0 for 2 so far this year against the backup Todd Hofford. And he puts it away. So that's a 1-point goal for Morris. Milwaukee's lead back at 5 now at 15-10.
And they will play with a 1-man advantage during the 2-minute penalty.
Interesting, Mike, that the KiXX sent out Todd Hofford, their backup keeper, to take the shootout. Pappas has not done real well against shootouts so far this year. So they sent in Hofford. Morris not messing around. One quick dribble, and Stevie buries it. And that is his first point on the afternoon.
Keith has mixed up his players, taking these shootout opportunities as well this season.
Wave on the year as a team now, 15 for 34. Generally speaking, you'd like to be around 50%, either shooting them or defending against them. Milwaukee's power play unit, including Morris, who has it, Moxham and Richardson, Michael King, and Peter Hatrip. Ihor Datsenko is out there along with Tabrizi, Byer, and Scott Henderson for Philadelphia to try to defend against the Wave power play.
If the Wave scores during this 2-minute period, then the player will come out of the penalty box and they'll go back to even strength.
Here's Byer on the shorthand bid, still going. Oh, 1-on-3, and he still maintains control. Good job using up some of the Waves power play time. Milwaukee coming into today's game just 25% with a man advantage, 5 out of 20. They've also yielded a league-high 4 shorthanded goals. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, third best in the league as far as penalty killing at 70%. Wave, however, did get a big power play goal, a 3-pointer from David Moxham in the 12-10 victory over the Baltimore Blast last night. In fact, Moxham has 4 of the 5 Wave power play goals so far this year. 40 seconds to go as Richardson controls. 40 seconds in the power play for the Wave.
Okay, Moxie.
Boy, it'd be great to see him get another one here. That would really
waiting.
put the Wave in command.
He was looking for the opportunity, ready to go at it. Time quickly dwindling on that 2-minute power play.
Hatrip whistled for the foul. 21 seconds left to go in the power play for Milwaukee. Again, Rudy Dolescott for the Philadelphia KiXX into the box for boarding at 4:23 of this fourth period. Steve Morris converting on the 1-point shootout. And that's where we are. Wave leads at 15-10. Just 10 seconds to go on the man advantage for Milwaukee. Pat White with it. Morris will clear it back to Victor. And now the Wave will regroup as Dolescott gets back on for the KiXX. 8.5 minutes to go from the Bradley Center. Wave leading by 5. Victor trying to send one ahead for Pat White. That would have been too far. Patty gets it back at midfield. Now Dusowski hemmed in. Moxham to Carbonera. Lofton couldn't quite get that one. Good job by White to keep it alive. Here's Lofton. Dusowski. And the shot up in the stands. Good work, though, to work it into Todd and his turning right footer up in the stands. But Todd has had a good second half so far with a couple of 2-point goals.
Here's another look at it. They're moving the ball around a lot. A lot of people getting the touch on the ball.
Peter Pappas, who has been with the KiXX since day one. When this team started in 96-97. Now they set it up.
It's trouble.
Side Victor!
Beautiful.
Oh, great stop on Rudy Dolescott. Sensational save by Nogueira. That would have put Philadelphia back within 3, and there's still plenty of time here. 7.5 to go. Hunyek. Dolescott again. Banks it in there, but Victor ready for this one. The outlet to Matty Tershman. Richardson now will play it back for Lovelace Aka. Lovelace, I should mention, with a couple of assists today. Not known for his scoring prowess, but he's chipped in with a couple of points today.
Does well defensively. 4th on the team with blocks, 28 on the season going into today's game.
I think Keith Tozer pretty pleased about the transition Lovelace has made here in his first indoor season.
He's a tree trunk.
He's not going anywhere, that's for sure, when he gets positioned. I don't think opposing teams look forward to matching up with Lovelace too much. Shot save, Victor on the blast by Alexander Peave.
And a quick outlet pass down the left side to Kinger.
Kinger Fakes the give to Moxham. And we'll back it up for Richardson. Wave will not have to be in a hurry offensively if they don't want to with this 5-point lead. But as you mentioned, Mike, you don't really want to go into a shell. There's still too much time to go. Here couldn't track that one down. Again, Philadelphia without their high-scoring forward, Kevin Sloan, who's been plagued by a knee injury all season long. Sloan was the big star for Philadelphia during the earlier meeting between these teams, January 8th in Philly, as he had 3 goals and 6 points to pace the Kicks in that one, including a game-winning 3-pointer with about 6 minutes left in that contest.
Here's Dusoski.
I was going to say, he got away momentarily from Tabrizi. Boy, you got to like his skill, though, Mike. Not only is he a big, strong player, but he's got great skill as well.
And attitude.
And he's had that attitude here in the second half.
In fact, he's on the cover of this year's program.
Here's Todd again. Lofted.
Beautiful, beautiful pass.
Brian shot just wide. Nice combination, though. You give Brian enough of those, he's going to finish quite a few. Hunyak. Look out. Peeve. Richardson. Great play to take it off the line. Oh, and a great move by Peeve coming back to finish. Well, Richardson kept the first attempt out, but Peeve got it back, and he made a nice move in the middle to finish it off, and they're back within 3 at 15-12. So we'll take a break. It's Milwaukee 15, Philadelphia 12. Don't go away. Wave Soccer on MSC.
We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for the Milwaukee Wave and many of Milwaukee's other professional sports teams. Our team of Medical College of Wisconsin physicians, physical therapists, and certified athletic trainers is unsurpassed when it comes to preventing, diagnosing, and treating sports injuries. The Frederick Sports Medicine Center, official sports medicine provider to the Milwaukee Wave.
Whoa. Oh, you want to race?
Victor Noguera with the save shortly before that goal was scored, just before we took a little break there. Once again, a very close game, 15-12. Oh, what a save.
That was a stop on Dola, Scott. The earlier stop on Alexander Peeve, but Peeve just came back to get the 2-pointer just before we went to break. That was at 10:10 of the 4th period. And Philadelphia back within 3, 15-12. A couple of times here in the second half when it looked like the Wave was on the verge of putting the Kicks away, Philadelphia's bounced back. And they're still very much alive in this one. Does not take long, as we've seen a couple of times in today's game, for the momentum to change.
And the last time these two teams met in Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, it was right down to the wire. 8-7 was the final score in that game, with Philadelphia coming out on top.
Peter Hattrup trying to play one for Tony McPeak. Good hustle, though, by the Kicks to get it back. Now Hattrup again. Save, Pappas.
Sweet move by Peter and a nice save by Pappas.
Kinger hustling back to get it. Over to Carbo. Carbo wins it from Dola Scott. Pat White will turn and back it up to Kinger. 3:50 to go. And the Wave by 3. Pappas has to go to the corner to get it. Kinger knocks it back in. White draws the foul. Good job by Patty to draw the foul from Rudy Dola Scott.
Just tripped up a little bit there, kind of caught his right heel.
Richardson to Kinger with the header just over the crossbar. Good try there.
You know, we talked about Kinger teaming up with Victor, but Kinger and Michael Richardson have teamed up repeatedly as well.
Those are 2 of your 4 Wave All-Stars who will be joining Team USA for the game at Edmonton February 1st, and again that one live right here on MSC. 8 o'clock kickoff time. The KiXX down by 3. And they've decided to go with a 6th attacker. Player coach Omid Namazi, there he is, donning the jersey. So the idea to pull the keeper, try to get an extra attacker, but you leave the net relatively unguarded. Here's Kinger against the Namazi. Fires it in! A three-pointer from Michael King! And the Wave on top, 18-12. Well, that's the risk you take, Mike, when you go to the 6th attacker. You're hoping to get the extra man when you have possession, but when you don't, it can burn you. And Kinger taking advantage there to knock in the three-pointer.
And right between Namazi's feet. The 6th attacker worked for the Wave a week or so ago, and they were in Harrisburg and ended up winning the game by using their 6th attacker offensively. But as you pointed out, you can get burned defensively, and that's what happened to Philadelphia.
Michael King now with the hat trick today. He's got a couple of 2-pointers, and that one a 3-pointer, his 2nd of the year. And Milwaukee with their biggest lead now at 18-12.
Despite the fact they gave up 3, they're going to keep Namazi out there as a 6th attacker because they need points at this point. They are down by 6.
Victor outletting to Lofton. Morris knocks it back to Carbo. Tried to play it up the near wing. He was looking for Dusowski, but it ended up in the stands.
And it'll come back to the point from which the ball was kicked.
So Kinger with another big afternoon today for the Wave. 7 points on the day. Wave's leading scorer now with 73 on the season. And he no doubt will eclipse the 100-point mark again, as he has in each of his previous 6 seasons with the Wave. Shot in. Blocked. Lofton coming back. Pushed it by Namazi. Bryan with a 3. It was right near the line. Let's see if they give him 3 or not. Regardless of what it is, it was a great play by Lofton. So it's at least 2 more points for the Wave.
They're calling it 2. We'll take a look at it on the replay.
It's still a big goal.
Whoa.
Well,
looked like 3 from here.
Looked like a 3 on our replay, but we'll have to see. Here we go. This will give us the definitive shot on the overhead view. And
3.
Still looks like a 3. Now they still only have 2 on the board. Still a big goal. Puts the Wave up by 8 at 20-12. Time of the goal at 12:48. What a nice move by Lofton to get around Namazi.
Very patient. Nice little touch.
And they've decided to go back with the goalkeeper, Pete Pappas. And now they have changed Lofton's goal to a 3-pointer.
They must have been listening.
I know the officials usually don't want to listen to us too much, but in this case, I think we gave him some good advice, Mike. So give Lofton credit for the 3-pointer. Back-to-back 3-pointers by King and Lofton.
Nothing like that to bring the keeper back onto the field.
Wave up by 9 at 21-12. 2 threes on the day for Milwaukee. And the Wave on the season now with a total of 15. They have also surrendered 16, including one of the kicks earlier today. Make that 2 for Philadelphia thus far today. Donnie D'Ambra had 1, and their player coach Omid Namazi had 1. So the Wave scored 2, given up 2. There's still a -2 in that category.
At this point, they are going to be content to play defense, I think, as they head downfield. No sense running up the score, taking a chance of injuries.
And at 15 to go, so it looks like it's going to be a very successful weekend for the Wave here at Bradley Center. The big overtime win over Baltimore last night, and a big win over Philadelphia today. Game 1 of our 8-game MSC package. And I think today fans, Mike, we've given the fans just a little bit of everything here, a little flavor of the MPSL. Some three-pointers, had a shootout, a power play, and some great action on the field, and I think some pretty nice goals as well for both teams.
Fans are going to go happy, go home happy.
Wave is going to go to 9-1 here at the Bradley Center. And 90-10 in their last 100 regular and postseason outings here on the Bradley Center turf. They'll gain a season split in the series with Philadelphia at 1 game apiece. And they'll keep their mastery over the KiXX here at the Bradley Center with their 8th win in 9 games against Philly here on the BC turf.
And at this point, Philadelphia content just to let it happen. No sense of postponing the inevitable. Michael King going to be the player of the game.
Well deserved. Final score from the Bradley Center. The Wave 21, KiXX 12. Back after this on MSC.
In this country, we have a workforce emergency. There are not enough workers with the skills necessary to do the jobs. There are so many job openings today, it would be a great time to explore your options. If you have the skills for this new economy and want a better job, or if you'd like to improve your skills, ProStaff can help.
I switched from another service because I had heard how much ProStaff cared. They really made me feel special. With them, I had a name, not just a number.
If you are experienced in the employment areas on the screen and have a desire to work or explore new opportunities, we want to talk to you. We have temporary or project assignments, temp to permanent opportunities, as well as permanent openings.
I came to ProStaff looking for an income, but what I found was a brand new career. There were so many openings that they could have placed me in, but they found the one that was just right for me.
We have over 175 new openings available at all pay levels, and we represent the area's top employers. Call us now to learn about the exciting opportunities available exclusively through ProStaff.
Call ProStaff now.
Have you tried car, truck, or van shopping on the web? www.rustarrow.com is a must-see on the information superhighway. www.rustarrow.com is your site link to over 2,000 new vehicles available at 9 Wisconsin locations. www.rustarrow.com connects you with over 1,000 pre-owned vehicles, web sales, and service specials, and Rust Arrow's exclusive statewide express vehicle delivery system.
For the best selection, pricing, and financing, visit us at our website at www.rustarrow.com.
There's only one card that can get you into your favorite golf resort. Only one that can get you a free cruise aboard the most popular cruise line in the world. Only one that can get you free seats at Wimbledon. It's not American Express. And it's not Visa. It's the Firekeepers Club card, only at Potawatomi Bingo Casino. Membership's free. Get points for prizes whenever you play bingo or slots. It's our Supreme Privileges program. Don't leave Potawatomi without it.
There you see the final. Wave beating the Philadelphia KiXX 21-12 before a crowd of 7,179 here at the Bradley Center.
Michael King with 2 goals on the day. Let's take a look at his first one. King with a 3-pointer that was his most recent goal, actually, a 3-pointer that just snuck past the 6th attacker. Here's the earlier one just before halftime, the one that really changed the momentum. Loveless Akata Kinger, quick turn, a 1-touch, and he puts it in past Pete Pappas.
So Kinger with a big game today finishes with the hat trick, 3 goals.
Despite that, he was not the player of the game. Those honors went to Todd Dusowski, who also had a fabulous game today.
So the Wave wins it 21-12.